Welcome to the Daily Swole. There we go. Welcome everyone to episode 8 of the Daily Swole. Today we're talking about hunger, what your hunger actually means. So welcome to everyone that's new. I appreciate it, and got some exciting updates coming pretty soon. Some things we're going to talk about at the end of the broadcast. So let's talk about your hunger, feelings of hunger, and I'm hungry right now, but what does your hunger actually mean when you're feeling hungry? When you're feeling hungry, when you're like, oh my God, I got to get something to eat, what does that actually mean? What is your body actually telling you? I talk a lot about self-awareness. I talk a lot about listening to your body. I talk a lot about, all those different aspects of, getting in touch with your system, with actually paying attention to what's going on. If you're not paying attention to what's going on, what good is your brain? Your brain interprets your body's signals. But here's the thing. It's like a lot of people that are following me here, that are listening to the podcast, are watching me on Periscope, that are watching this on YouTube, you're from another country. I have a lot of international followers, and we all speak different languages. So imagine, us communicating. I can't have someone, speak French to me and I'm speaking back to them in English. So what has to happen is we have to speak the same language. Now, if you're not listening to your body, it's like speaking two different languages. We both might be saying the same thing. We might be having a conversation. I might be saying, oh, it's really nice to meet you. And you're saying, oh, it's really nice to meet you too. And I'm thinking, man, what the heck is she saying? And you're thinking, oh, what the heck is he saying? So this is what is going on with your body if you're not paying attention to it. Now, hunger pains can come in different avenues, and we're going to talk about each one. First off, the most important one, because a lot of you might be coming in, you might have to leave. So I want to make sure that we get this done right off the bat. I want to make sure that I get this point across right away. With hunger, there's hunger and there's thirst. Okay? I talked about this, we touched upon it when I was doing a transformation with Carlos, that last story, number 5, I believe it was. When you're hungry or when you're thirsty. Now, I don't know how many of you know this, but your body can go a few weeks without eating, but it can only go a couple days without water. So think about that, a few weeks without eating, or a few weeks without, a few weeks, maybe like 2 or 3 weeks without eating, possibly, depending on the health of the person, and only a couple days without drinking. So which one's more important, would you say? Obviously, the drink could be more important, because if you can only last 3 days without water, for example, or 2 weeks without food, obviously the water is going to be more essential. The water is going to be more of an important thing for you to consume. So here's what happens. People are generally dehydrated. If you're not drinking water right when you wake up, because considering, let's say you sleep 6 to 8 hours, 6 to 8 hours without getting hydration. And we're talking about a function, hydration. We're talking about an element, water, where your body needs water for everything. You're about 60-70% water. So if you're not drinking for 6 to 8 hours at night, you need to hydrate. And most people wake up in the morning, they're kind of like, just shifting off sleep. They're going, oh my God, I'm just waking up, oh my God, the whole thing, and they're drinking their coffee and whatnot. Most of them aren't thinking hydration. Most of you aren't thinking about hydrating. So what's happening is you are going to be dehydrated throughout the entire day. Your body is actually dehydrating. Not that you're going to go 2 or 3 days without water, but what's happening is your body is actually starved for water. Your body is actually getting starved. So what happens during the day is you start feeling hungrier. And here's the explanation for that. When you are really thirsty, when your body is dehydrated, when you're chronically dehydrated, guess why you're chronically dehydrated? Guess why? Tell me. You're thirsty. Your body is thirsty. If you're eating completely burned toast, it's going to be dried, it's going to be powder. That's a completely unmoist, dry food. But if you're eating anything that has any kind of moisture, you're getting fluid. So your body knows that if we eat food, we're going to get water. If we eat, he or she is also, you're also going to drink if we eat. So you're going to have water with your meal. This is a massive massive problem because you're going to start eating too many calories. The thirst mechanism becomes so weak. So if you're chronically dehydrated, your body keeps on saying, give me water, come on, man, give me water. And guess what? You're not giving it water. So eventually, it's like you're calling, let's say you're dating someone and you really like them and they don't really like you. You keep on calling them and they're going to stop answering, right? They don't answer your text. You're like, hey, you want to go out sometime? And they're like, yeah, maybe. So you keep asking them out. You keep asking them out on a date, like, please, can we go out sometime? And they're like, yeah, maybe not. Eventually, guess what's going to happen? You're going to stop calling. You're going to stop calling. You're going to get tired of it and be like, you know what? Fuck this person. They don't like me. I don't like, then why do I want to be with someone that doesn't want to be with me? So you're going to stop calling. That's what happens with your body. Your body keeps on saying, give me water, give me water, give me water, give me water, give me water. And then you don't give it water. Eventually says, you know what? Fuck you. I'm hungry. I'm hungry. I'm hungry. And then it starts crying for food. Then you're like, oh, I guess I'm hungry. And then you go and you eat. And guess what? Because your body really wants water, you're not satisfied with the amount of calories that should satisfy you. So you overeat. You eat when when you're really thirsty, you start eating. And then you eat more to get that water in your body to get fluid, so those signals shut down. So you end up eating more calories throughout the day and you gain weight. A good way to prevent that is to drink water before you eat. So about 10-15 minutes before you eat, get a nice glass of water. You can even squeeze some lemon in it. It's very alkalizing and it'll actually help balance out the levels and give you a little better response. Drink a glass or two, a nice tall glass of water or water with lemon about 10-15 minutes before you eat. If you're struggling to lose weight, if you're struggling with weight loss, do this. I guarantee you're not going to be as hungry. You're not going to eat as much food. You're not going to desire food as much when you get to your meal. You're just not going to be as hungry. So a nice tall glass of water or two with some lemon in it about 10-15 minutes before you eat. And then what's going to happen is you'll get hydration, and then your body will actually give you the real signals for how hungry you actually are. And then you'll eat and you're full. And you'll eat a smaller portion, you won't eat as many calories, you won't gain as much extra weight. You'll actually get to your goals easier. Okay? That's a gem number one. The next gem is going to be based on, going back to the original with the hunger, when you're consuming calories. So first off, you're getting water. That thirst mechanism gets very, very weak. So you are actually desiring food instead of water. The sugar crash. When you're crashing from sugar, if you're eating a lot of sugary foods, you're going to get that plummet. You're going to get that drop. You're going to get that low pit if you're doing high insulin spiking foods. So if you're eating foods that are high in sugar, a lot of sodas, you're going to get that roller coaster. And in that depth, in that roller coaster, what happens is because you send that roller coaster, that insulin spike so high, it's going to plummet. It's going to crash. And then you actually get a little bit of a deeper low, and you get a little bit like hypoglycemic almost. You get that rebound effect. And then you feel more hungry throughout the day as well. So first off, drink water. The thirst mechanism is very, very weak. So make sure that you're drinking plenty of water starting early in the morning, and drink water before you eat. Also, you just get used to eating big meals. You're going to get used to eating the way you've always eaten. If you always eat big meals, you're going to continue to eat big meals, and you're going to feel unsatisfied. You're going to feel unsatisfied if you have a snack when you're used to eating 1,500 calories. So that 1,500 calorie meal you're normally used to eating, guess what? 500 or 300, 200 calories is not going to satisfy you. But this changes. Most people try something for a week or for a day, like, oh my God, I'm hungry, and they stop their nutrition plan. You have to continue this. You have to perpetuate this. You have to keep it rolling. It's not just a one-time thing. You have to do this regularly, and your body will adapt pretty quickly, actually. So one of the things with hunger is that I used to eat every 2 hours. I used to set a watch, and when I finished my meal, I would start the timer. Literally, because I ate so mechanically, so like an assembly line, I would start to be like, oh man, I'm hungry. I would look down at my watch, and it was counting down from 4 minutes. From 4 minutes. I would feel a hunger pain on the money within about 4 minutes of that 2 hour window. When I ate by the clock, I don't eat like that regimented, like with a timer. Okay? Yeah, exactly. Consistency is the key. And if you eat that consistency, that's not even a word, consistently, your body will adapt to that consistency. as detailed as you get, like I said, my body, I would feel hungry. I would start to feel hungry. I'll get the hunger pains and start looking for food. I would look down at my watch, and it'd be like under 4 or 3 minutes, counting down from 2 hours. That's insane. But if I just ate around 2 hours, I wouldn't get that detail. I'd be kind of hungry an hour and a half, maybe 3 hours. But because I ate literally on the minute, my body wasn't only just saying, hey, I'm hungry, it was just used to eating at a certain time. So those hormones that get released and all those processes that take place every time you eat food, what happens is you start to feel those hunger pains because your body is like Pavlov's dog, you know? Like that great psychology experiment with the dog. Every time, if you've never heard of it, you can check it out. Pavlov, Pavlov. It's a famous experiment where every time I think a psychiatrist or something like that, or psychologist, would feed, or behavioral specialist would feed a dog, he would ring a bell. Every time the dog ate, he would ring a bell while the dog was eating. And then it got to the point where he would just ring the bell and the dog would just start salivating and drooling because the dog would associate that bell with eating, with food, with hunger. And we're animals like anything else, so you can train your body. You can train your body to be that consistent. You can train your body to be that regular. Okay? You can associate your body with anything. It's like instant gratification. Like you do this, hey, I get a treat. That's why people think they work out, I get a cheat day. Oh, I worked out, I get to eat crap. Or, that's why people drink. That's half the things where people drink alcohol. It's like, oh, I got a promotion, let me get wasted. And like, oh, it's Friday, let me get wasted. You associate a day of the week with drinking excessively, with binging. That's why people fall off their diets on the weekend, because it's the weekend, so that's an excuse. That's an excuse. That's an excuse for what's, it's an escape because people are stressed and people are in cages mentally and emotionally, and they're not doing what they enjoy with their lives. But that's why when it comes to the weekend, it's not like, for me, it's not like, let loose and just go partying crazy, because every day I'm enjoying my week is my weekend. Every day is the same for me. I'm enjoying my life. I do a little work every single day. I do a lot of this video editing, a lot of the content every day, but I teach class, I train clients, but I spread that out every single day. I don't have a weekend. There's no off day. It's just day one. It's not Monday. It's just, everyone else thinks it's Monday. I don't even wear a watch. I don't wear a watch for a reason, because I don't want to be strapped down. So I like the hearts over here. Keep them flowing. I love hearts. It gives me energy. I love you too. Keep it going. What's the record? See how many I can get. Let's talk about fatigue too. So fatigue when you're tired. A lot of times, and you probably feel this way, a lot of times in the evening you're hungry or you want sugar, you want something sweet. Fatigue increases your release of certain hormones that make you crave glucose. So if you're chronically sleep deprived, and most of us are, especially in the United States, but all around, because of technology and blue light from, I'm up to like 3 or 4 a.m. I was up at like 8:30 and I was up till 4 editing videos. I'm sitting there in front of a screen, of course, you're awake longer. We're not going to sleep when the sun goes down. We're not waking up when the sun comes up. We're all off kilter because of technology. So when you're thinking about your scheduling, your sleep patterns, or your fatigue comes into play. When you're tired, it could be either one thing. When you're chronically sleep deprived, you can actually either just be tired and lose hunger, or you're going to crave sugar and shit. And guess what? When you're hungry late at night because you're fatigued and you're awake and you're craving glucose, it's one, you're not doing activity, so you're spiking insulin and storing fat because you're just pounding sugar at night. And then you are also not exercising, you're not doing anything, so you're sitting around, so it's like a double whammy. So you shouldn't be eating that kind of stuff at night anyway, but these cravings are because you're tired. And we're all sleep deprived. If you're not going to sleep when the sun goes down and waking up when the sun comes up, you're sleep deprived. And everything, all your hormones are off. My hormones are off, your hormones are off. If you don't go to sleep at sunset, then your hormones are off. And it's tough. It's tough because of light, because of blue light, because of society, because Game of Thrones comes on at 9 o'clock. Shit, I'm not going to sleep at 7 o'clock when the sun goes down. I'm not going to DVR that. I want to see it live. I want to see what's happening. Maybe if we're good, maybe if we ask later on, I'll give you my theory, my eccentric theory for Game of Thrones, and my real theory. I haven't read the books, but I kind of have some feelings about all that. We should have a Game of Thrones podcast. I'm sure they're already out there. So any questions about hunger, about your hunger pains? There are probably some other talking points and things that are going to come up, and might even do another round of this coming up soon because hunger is such an important issue. So make sure you're drinking plenty of water. I'll just recap. If you have any questions, you can shoot them out there about eating. If you're not drinking enough water, you're going to feel hunger pains. Your thirst mechanism gets weak. Your thirst mechanism gets weak, and you are going to feel hungry because your body isn't getting satisfied when it triggers you for thirst. So start drinking more water, and your hunger will actually be more real when you're actually hungry. And then you won't overeat. Oh, here's another thing. Yeah, I'm not done there, Tony. I know it's awesome info. I appreciate it, bro. I appreciate it. If you don't feel hungry. If you don't feel hungry? How do you mean? Actually, hold that thought. Now, keep all these thoughts. I'm going to ask for questions again in a second. I just want to get this one more point across because this is super important. I almost forgot. Not only is it what you're eating until you're full, like am I actually hungry, but is when you're full. This could almost be a whole other episode in itself. The hormone negative feedback system, which means certain hormones increase when you're hungry and then decrease once you've consumed enough food. And this is triggered by responses and stretch sensors and receptors and things like that in the stomach. These hormones, okay, when I tell my arm to move, it's instantaneous almost. It's like nanoseconds. That's nervous system. The endocrine system, hormones, that is very slow. It's 10 to 15 minutes. So here's the thing. Here's the feedback system with food. When you're eating, a lot of you eat way too much food. You overeat. It's because you eat too fast. You don't pay attention to these signals. When you eat and you're actually full, let's say when your body is sad, not when you're aware of it, when your body is actually satisfied, it takes about 10 to 15 minutes for those hormones to be released and relayed to the brain so you feel full. This is why if you're eating a ton of food, and let's say you go to fast food, eat pizza, you eat 4 slices really fast, you're like, oh my God, it's so good. Yeah, let's get 2 more. You're not giving your body a chance for those hormones to sift through and then let you know, okay, 4 slices of pizza is enough. You've already ordered 2 more and you already started eating. So then by the time you're done with those extra 2 slices, it's another 10, 15 minutes. That's why you start feeling more full 10, 15, 20 minutes, 30 minutes after you start feeling more and more full. Because you've already overeaten long before. The hormones and that response system just took a long time to get that feedback to the brain. So especially if you're looking to lose weight, burn fat, you're looking to tighten up, you're not looking to bulk up. Bulking up is different. You're going to pound food no matter what. If you are looking to lose fat and you are trying to limit how much you're consuming, which is important, pay attention. You need to eat until you're about 80% full. You need to stop eating before you feel satisfied. By the time, I'm going to lean into this, by the time you are done eating and you've eaten your whole meal, you've overeaten. Only eat, if you feel full when you're done, you've eaten too much. Simple. Eat till you're 80% full. Here's the deal. You might still feel hungry. Fine. Stop. Have some willpower. In 10 or 15 minutes, if you still feel hungry and you're hydrated and all that good stuff, then you can go and have a little bit more. I guarantee you stop in 10 or 15 minutes, you're going to forget about food. You're going to be on to the next task. Okay? Try that. Do not overeat. Stop before you're full and then wait. And then if you're hungry in 15 minutes later, then you can have some more food. But stop before you're full and you'll see how satisfied you really are in about 15, 20 minutes. I guarantee it. I guarantee it. Try that today. Stop before you're full. You realize how little you actually need to maintain, how little you actually need to satisfy your body. Again, if you're bulking, it's different. But if you're trying to lose weight, that is absolutely, that's not even gold, that's fucking platinum. That is exercise science that you won't find many places. Okay? You won't hear people deliver it properly. That is what you're supposed to do. Another thing that you can limit, and this is a little bit off, are you hungry, is decrease your plate size. You can decrease caloric intake by just decreasing your plate, your circumference of the plates you use. Use like a smaller plate. You decrease it 1 inch in circumference, you decrease like your caloric intake by like 22%. That's some fact I saw on some website a long time ago. They did like average calculation. So smaller plates, get more servings, eat less, and don't eat until you're full. Eat until you're just like below satisfied, and then wait. And if you're still hungry, then you can eat. Questions? Let's get into this Q&A a little bit. Let's open the floor up. Got about 10 minutes or so. That's great information. It's great information. I don't get hungry, and I have to force myself to eat. I struggle to get the calories I need, and that's from Ashley. Okay, so you don't feel hungry. You struggle to get the calories. What do you mean you don't feel hungry? Like you just never, ever, ever feel hungry? You just don't. I mean, you must feel hungry sometimes. You must feel hungry a little bit. You just, in other words, you're just not as hungry for what you think you need to eat. Is that what you're saying? Because, quote, no, and I get full really quickly. Okay, well, here's the thing, everyone's stomach size is different. Everyone's stomach size is different. But your body, like I said before, your body gets used to eating a certain amount. Your stomach stretches. Let's think of these extremes. Okay, let's think about competitive eating. You think these guys just be like, I think I'm going to start eating 50 hot dogs and compete and try to do it for speed? No, their stomach stretches. They practice. If you've ever watched these documentaries, there's really cool documentaries. I mean, it's gross, and I mean, you can think it's gross, but it's incredible. These guys, they train like regularly. They're eating in their kitchen like 50 hot dogs because they have to keep their stomach stretched. Your body will adapt. If they go back to start eating salads, all of a sudden their stomach will be like, well, we don't need to be stretched out and digesting tons of food anymore. So your body will shrink. Same thing with gaining weight or losing weight or building muscle, losing muscle. So for one thing, you got to keep forcing it. You got to eat smaller meals more frequently. If you're trying to gain weight and you have trouble eating large at one time, guess what? You got to eat smaller meals, like 200 calories regularly throughout the day. So you need to make sure that you're eating regularly and just eat more frequently and eat smaller meals. And yeah, if you're trying to gain weight, guess what? Your body doesn't feel hungry because your body doesn't want to gain weight. You have to think about it the same way as weight loss. Your body doesn't want to lose weight, and your body does not want to gain weight. Okay, think about that. Your body does not want to lose weight. Your body does not want to gain weight, whether it's muscle or fat. Your body doesn't want to change. Your body does not want to change at all. Your body does not want to change at all. Your body wants to stay exactly the same, just like people want to stay in their same little rut in their lives. People get comfortable, you get into a rut, you get really nice and lackadaisical, and you stay. People like that monotony. And guess what? The body is the same thing. The mind and body are fucking connected. They're intertwined. They're one and the same. Your body does not want to do anything than what your body just wants to be. Wants to be like this today, wants to be like this tomorrow. You know why? Because it's easy. It's easy to maintain. It's easy to not change. It's easy for me to go to the gym and just go through the motions and maintain the way I look now. Okay, it's easy for people to be overweight and just keep on sitting on their butts and just eating a little bit of food, not exercising. It's easy. So they don't change. It's easy to go to the gym and go on a treadmill every day for an hour and then go home. They don't change because it's easy. You go for the easy way, it's easy to go get a job and work 9 to 5 and get paid a certain amount and go home and watch TV and go to bed and wake up and shower and eat and go to work 9 to 5 and go home. Go to sleep, go to bed. It's easy. It's easy. Routines are easy. And guess what? Losing weight or gaining muscle or anything is not a routine. You're changing. You're forcing your body to change its lifestyle, to change how it's metabolizing nutrients. You're telling your body, no, dude, I think we're going to build muscle. I think we're going to get to work. So get your tools, get your hammer, get your nails, and your body's like, fuck you, bro. I'm not doing that. But guess what? You hammer it with certain stimulants, you hammer it with certain calories every day for months, for years, it's going to grow because it's forced to. Because it's forced to change. You have to force change. You have to force change. All right, quote, JFan05, if you're looking to bulk, what multiplier do you use for protein and caloric intake? What do you mean? Specify what multiplier. Don't know what you mean. I'm assuming, are you like multiplying your body weight by, what do you mean by multiplier? Yes. So, by body weight. What are the rules? I think generally it's like, you multiply your body weight in pounds by 15 or something. You know what? By body weight. Here's the thing, by body weight. What multiplier do I use? I don't. I mean, it's no offense to you. Maybe you haven't been following me. I mean, I don't multiply shit. Do I believe in those things? You know what? And it's not that's a guide. I'm just teasing. That's a guide. You know, those multipliers, like, oh, multiply by 13 to lose weight, multiply by 18 or 15 to gain weight. That's the most arbitrary. That's like counting to 10 reps. You guys know I don't count reps. I don't count sets. That's just a number. Okay? You have two people that are 200 pounds, 5'10", deliciously dense beard and long flowing locks. You have two people, they're going to burn calories differently. Me and my doppelganger, we're both different. So multiplying by a number is arbitrary. You can do that. And here's the thing, I'm going to say this, it's not the answer that people want to hear. And here's the thing, with my fitness coaching, my programs, my online training with all my clients that I coach through, that I lead, help make changes in their lives, and this is what they've gotten used to, and this is what you have to kind of accept. Anyone that's giving you, eat this, or do this, no, I'll guide you to figuring it out for yourself. If you want to make change, a lifestyle change, I'll tell you. You want to do online training or online coaching with me? That's fine. I guarantee you're not going to be my client for 60 years. Well, maybe that'd be cool, but you're going to go your own way. But you're going to learn, and you're going to perpetuate this, and you're going to continue. It's a lifestyle. People, the same thing I talked about, the food and the laziness, or people don't want to study themselves. People don't want to study themselves. They'll study accounting. They'll watch Game of Thrones. They don't want to watch themselves. You are a complicated machine. You are an amazing thing. You have to study yourself. You have to look at yourself. Your body, your body, you have to want to change. You have to want to pay attention because you want the easy way out. Yeah, it's Saturday. Game of Thrones is tomorrow. Of course I like mentioning it. But you have to figure this out for yourselves. All right? You have to figure this out for yourselves, but you have to you have to get out of that rut because your body wants to stay the same and people want to be fed. They want to be spoon-fed certain information. And I'm not saying like a bad thing. If I have information and you know when I'm giving you information, I'll give you, if I have like a number or if I have like a fact or if I have something that's important, you know already. I'll tell you, this is what it is. Do this, not this. But there are certain things where there's a lot of gray area. And anyone that's telling you it's this and not this when it's a gray area is blowing smoke up your ass. Is blowing smoke up your ass. They're trying to get attention. They're either not researching their facts or they have no experience. They don't understand that it's not that black and white. Okay? It's not that black and white. Everyone looks different on the outside, and you're goddamn right, you're even more different on the inside. Okay? We might all have arms and legs and eyes and and similar body parts, but at the same time they all look different, and on the inside they work differently. Especially when you have two people that might look the same, but they grew up in different backgrounds. 50 years of internal digestion and programming and absorption of nutrients, you're going to tell me that these two people aren't completely different on the inside. Okay? You have to get out of this routine of wanting an answer or expecting there to be a flat answer. I love your question. That was perfect, and it's not a bad question. There's no bad questions. Remember what I say? There's no bad questions. Only questions that are not done while flexing. You have to flex when you ask a question. If you don't flex, your question's worth dick. So I can't see you, but just be like this. It's kind of like, pump your arm and ask a question. Just, respect the process. Yeah, it's a solid rant, but you have to. You have to. You have to pay attention to yourself. So getting back to that, multiply by 15. Try it, but monitor. If you're going to use a number, and here's the kicker, and I don't think I mentioned this before. I don't count sets, I don't count reps. But if you want detail, because I already know how my body reacts to a lot of things. If you're really studying and you're paying attention, and this is the rant, this is like the closing rant. If you're paying attention to your body, okay, and you really want applicable, tested results, like you want to find out, is A different from B? How does A help me as opposed to B? How does C help me as opposed to B? What you need to do is be detailed, be consistent. You have to know, I'm eating this much, I'm eating at this time, I'm eating this many carbs, this much fat. You spend a little bit of time getting really detailed and getting really anal and weighing everything, you will find out results, but you have to be consistent. Your emotions are not a good judge of how, the only good judge of how you're progressing. And I mean that in the point of a positive thing, because you might be progressing. And you know, these are small increments that you're seeing changes in fitness. You're seeing small increments every day. But when, let's say you wake up and you're in a bad mood, or you had like a shitty day, you got into a fight with your significant other, whatever, you're going to look in the mirror and you're going to see a different person than you did the day before when you were happy and you got a promotion at work and you know, or you sold something on eBay for $200. You're going to feel better and look at yourself and be like, wow, I feel great. You're going to stand better. You're going to perceive yourself as better in the mirror. You're going to think you look more ripped. You're going to be positive. When I'm happy, whether I get 2 hours of sleep or 50 hours of sleep, okay, a week, if I am happy and I'm motivated, I get leaner, I have better workouts. I don't care what my diet's like. It comes down to your mental state. Your mental state, your positivity, and how you look at yourself is super important. So if you're in a negative mood, you're going to feel like, oh my God, nothing's working, nothing's going my way, even if you're still on your path. So make sure you understand, like, you know, how your body reacts to it. So if you want to get really nitpicky and detailed, you're going to see change, and you have to monitor. You're not going to know if, you know, multiplying your body weight by 15 or by 18 is best for you until you do it. And the shit of it is, when you change your nutrition, you can't see that change in a day. You're going to have to stick with it for 3-4+ weeks to see that gradual change. But unless you plan on dying in 2 weeks, you got time. You won't know until you know. And if you really care, if you really want to see change, like for me, I'm lean enough. I'm lean enough, and I really don't try. I don't try. I do. I'm just habitual by it. I'm to the point where I don't even think. I just can do it and be a certain way and tweak certain things. But I don't try to be like, oh, really super shredded. I'm just not motivated to get that lean. I just don't care that much. I like to enjoy my life. Because I feel like, you know, when I'm older, I might not be able to do the same things I do now. So whatever. If I want to have a beer, I'll have a beer. If I want to have 10 beers, I'll have 10 beers. If I want to have, you know, a beer and then whiskey and then bacon and then a cigar, I'm going to. Because I can. If I like, I mean, if it would make me just completely fall apart and my body was different, then I wouldn't do it. If it meant that much to me to look a certain way, to have the aesthetics. But I'm happy, but I know what I need to do. I know what I need to change. But that's the thing with eating. You're not going to know until you be consistent with it. So be consistent with it, analyze, check it out, and then you'll know. But yeah, I believe 15, or generally 15 is maintenance. 15 is maintenance, or 15 and 18 is like bulking. But of course, you eat a ton of calories, you're going to bulk, you're going to gain weight. But spread that out. For those people that are trying to bulk and you can't eat a lot at one meal, guess what? Smaller meals throughout the day. If you want to lose weight, better to do more frequent meals as well, because your body is going through, it's like stoking a fire. You're not throwing 30 logs on it and smothering the fire. You're kind of throwing twigs, just pumping it up. So understand that. It's also important to look at it in terms of that. Stoking a fire, you're not smothering it with too much wood. You actually have to eat small meals more often. With bacon, yeah, and not to mention, force some food. Get some liquid meals in. Make some shakes, make some extra calorie shakes. Drink some raw eggs, you know, and butter. Add more calories. And guess what? If you get full easily, you're going to have to force it. Gaining weight, guess what? Your body, God, this is just, does anyone need an umbrella or like a shield? Or like, I would duck and get to cover because these fucking knowledge bombs are just raining down. Like just shrapnel. It's like a meteor shower of fucking knowledge. God. It's like a pipe burst in my brain. We're going to be here fucking all day. Let's go. I had so much coffee. I am so amped. And on 3 hours of sleep or 4 hours of sleep, this is just... So your body, with hunger, as much as it maintains with everything, your body will get used to eating the same way all the time. It's going to get used to eating the same way all the time. Your body doesn't want to gain weight. I told you that. When you eat a certain amount of food, you're full. Because guess what? Your body doesn't want to change. You have to stretch your stomach out. You got to eat more. You have to force it. You don't feel hungry and it feels forced because your body's like, that's enough. I'm used to that. No, that's not all I need. That's all I need. You have to say, no, you need more. And gradually increase. I would increase your total calories if you're trying to bulk and you're really struggling to eat a meal. If you're eating 4, 5, or 6 small meals a day, up 20, 50 calories a meal throughout the day, and you'll get 200 or 300, 400 calories. Up, yeah, okay. Ashley says, I'm scared to get fat though, and okay. So then, if you're scared to get, then small increments. Increase your total calories. Spread out your calories throughout the day. Spread your calories out throughout the entire day, a little bit extra every meal. So it's like 100, 200 extra. and then you'll adapt. Trust me, you'll adapt. If you, let's say you eat 6 meals, or let's say for conversion purposes. No, you know what? Yeah, for conversion, let's say you eat 5 meals a day. Okay? And you're going to up 100 calories throughout the entire day. That's 20 calories extra a meal. Science and your weighing it's not even that accurate. It's not even that accurate to make sure you're only getting 20 calories extra. It's barely that accurate. It's so easy to spread that out. You don't have to eat, 6,000 extra calories a day. Like if you're having a sandwich, if you're having a sandwich, then have, an additional extra half slice of bread with your sandwich. If you're having eggs, have 1 more egg at a meal. If you're having, some beef, have an ounce or 2 extra at every meal. If you're having a sweet potato, have like 3 or 4 extra bites extra a meal. That's nothing. That's nothing. You'll adapt so quick and you'll gain weight. And then if you're not gaining weight fast enough, then guess what? You up it a little bit, but your stomach is already progressing and stretching. You're not going to feel sick. You're not going to feel disgusting. You're not going to gain too much weight too quick. And that's the whole process. So and don't judge yourself every day. Over long term, if you start seeing yourself changing, then you can adjust. Okay? Ashley, I never used to eat breakfast. Now I have steak, eggs, and oats. There you go. I bet you the first time you start eating breakfast, you feel full. You feel like, oh my God, this is stuffing. I'm forcing it. Same concept. So let me wrap this up. And so I'm here every day at 12 noon Eastern time. As you know, you guys are obviously here. If you're new, welcome. I appreciate it. These episodes are all going to be on YouTube. Now, if you're watching my YouTube already, format change. I'm not doing the third-person camera. I'm posting my Periscope. So it's a lot better feed. It's going to be looking at you. It's going to be great. It's great. It's so much better. I was trying doing a different effect, but the camera went out when I was doing the video yesterday, and now it's going to be so much better. So it's going to look like that, so your YouTube and everything. New YouTube videos. I have all my funny snaps that I've ever done pretty much saved. And I'm going to start posting them up at Swolenormous Snapchat. It's on my YouTube channel. It's a playlist, so you're going to see a lot more of those. So it's, it's pretty, it's going to be pretty funny. So all the content, those of you that are new to my Snapchat that might have seen like a recent, all these like funny comedic things, there are a lot of them that you missed. If you're following me now, that you didn't follow me before, there are a lot of them that you missed. And there are a lot of them that you've never even seen from months ago are going to be put up there because I have a ton of videos. So stay tuned for that. And guess what? You're here now live. Let's say you miss a broadcast. Shit happens, Can't be awesome every day and be here every day. If you miss a broadcast, let's say you have a family. Let's say you're driving. You don't have time you don't want to sit there and just watch 40 minutes of this. All these things, see this microphone here? These are all being recorded. I have audio files for all of them, and they're going to be podcasts. They're likely going to be, I'll tell you exactly where they're going to be. Follow my Snapchat at Swolenormous. They're all going to be podcasts. So everything I'm doing here is going to be in podcast form. Okay? If you're listening to the podcast now, you already know that because you're listening to it. But I'm telling it now because I'm posting all the podcasts from the first Daily Swole to now after the fact. So those of you that are going to be listening to this podcast in a couple months, you'll be like, oh, wow, yeah, I know that. I've been listening to all these podcasts already. But those of you now that I'm posting live, I'm going to start posting the other ones. So episode 1 through, 7 or 8 will be on podcast. So I will let you know where that's going to be found. And you'll be able to drive. It'll be half an hour. Listen to in the gym. You'll be able to follow along. Listen to it in the gym, listen to it in cardio, listen to it in the car. You'll be able to get your taste. So you can watch it live. You miss it live. You can watch it on YouTube. You don't want to watch it. You don't want to look at my face. You don't like the look of my beard. Said no one ever. You can listen to a podcast. All right? Thank you so much. I appreciate your time. Thank you for watching the Daily Motherfucking Swole. I'll see you tomorrow at 12 noon Eastern time. Game of Thrones is going to be on. Oh, maybe tomorrow I'll give you my eccentric opinions and my projections and my realistic ones. All right? See everyone tomorrow. Daily Swole, 12 noon Eastern time. Peace out.